Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Hangout with ST. She's Alyssa.
And he's Hairianto, and Hangout with ST is a weekly show where we bring you top stories of the week.
That's right, anything that is local to everything that's happening around the world.
Because during rehearsal, he left me high and dry.
Yeah. So we are down to episode 57.
And then, as always, we are coming to you live on the Straits Times newsroom. So do leave your comments and we'll read it later during the show.
You missed out that part.
Missed out what?
You always will say like, you know, oh, we're coming down to episode 60 and then eventually to 100.
And then you say, I always say the same thing week after week, so I decided to switch things up.
Okay. Not that.
Can you keep up?
Not that you were switching things around, to be honest.
No.
It's pretty much that, right?
Yeah.
But of course, it's so nice to see all of you here, you know, online. Remember to tell all your friends and family members that we are online right now. And today we will be discussing, or talking about rather, the Malaysia's reform princess serving her final term as MP.
It's Ms. Nurul Izzah Anwar. She had a talk with the Straits Times executive editor, Smiko Tan. And also we'll be talking about colorectal cancer. Some things you should know.
And it's kind of like our special segment, right? Because we have a special guest on board with us tonight.
That's right.
And then we have the URA's new draft master plan that's been revealed yesterday.
And then we'll end things off with Onyam, other news in a minute. And then also, of course, our Facebook face-off. We had a draw last week. But I think we should go for a definite win.
Yeah? You think so?
Yeah, let's stop this draw nonsense.
So, my fans, y'all have heard Alyssa. Let's band together and show Alyssa what we've got.
Sure, bring it on.
War cry, right? But really, you know, if you think later on that I'm fine, just put H.
Okay, you heard him?
Okay, let's see who is online right now. Mei Zi Lilian says hi.
Hello.
Oh no.
Oh, is it the internet?
I kind of like lost my.
Oh, is it?
Okay, I'm going back in.
Usually my phone internet is not very good. So usually I depend on you to be reading the first few comments.
Oh boy.
Okay, so Violet Ng says hi guys, hello. Everyone's saying hi. Gavin Lau says hi A, hello. Gavin? Hairianto is here too.
I'm stuck.
Oh, you're stuck, okay.
And I'm in.
Okay. Nice.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to say hi to everybody.
Okay,
hello
hi
everyone.
Everybody. I'll say good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Have you had dinner? I'm waiting for Miles Casby to come.
Yeah, leave your comments and engage with us, yeah?
Okay, and Sally Ong says, hi, hello.
Oh yeah, Sally Ong. I think Sally Ong was around...
Anissa
Latif as well. Says,
hello.
Hello with that mark.
Okay, so William Liang says, hi guys, I'm now having dinner while watching this. Thanks.
Wow, let us know what you are having. Oh, Akif Norazman says, hi Hairianto. Oh.
Is your friend?
Yeah, I think so.
I see. Okay, I want
hello.
to say hi. Thank you so much. Hello.
Josiah Kim, that's my friend. Hello, yes, I'm watching. Yeah, remember to vote for me, Josiah, later, please. And then everybody's saying hello as well. So continue to keep your comments coming in. Yeah. Malaysia's political darling Ms. Nurul Izzah Anwar said she is serving her final term as lawmaker. Now, she expressed her disappointment with slow changes from the Pakatan Harapan government in setting forth policies.
3 months after choosing to take a back seat in politics and focusing on her constituency, the Pematang Pau MP,
Pematang Pau, yeah.
Thank you, is also dismayed by Malaysia's increasing shift towards Islamic conservatism.
Now, in December, the eldest child of politician parents, Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim and Dr. Wan Azizah Ismail, announced her resignation as Vice President and Penang State Chief for Parti Keadilan Rakyat, or PKR. Now, and her plan right now is to serve her final term as MP.
So the Straits Times executive editor Smiko Tan had lunch with her. She caught up with her. Here's a video.
How would you describe the last 1 year, before May and now?
Oh, it's been so turbulent and tumultuous. I've learned so much, but I think my heart's been broken as well, somewhat. So it's, so of course, I take it as such a valuable experience for me because, as my children grow up, I would like them to also understand the different experiences you go through. We were campaigning and we were trying very hard to solidify a coalition in order to win so that we can fulfill our promises.
When you said heartbreaking just now, when about the past year, you meant this.
I mean, having to work with a former dictator who wreaked so much damage, not just on our lives, but the system, was not easy. I really wanted the supremacy of the reform agenda to be our main focus. And, I always believe in a lot of goodness in people. But of course, I think it's also important for people to prove themselves. So it's just difficult, the whole thing. I mean, it was not easy. I mean, you must understand, we went to prison. I mean, it was so many years we were denied, not just access to our father, but, the Muslim celebrations, the Eid, the moments, and he was innocent.
So there you go, that's the video. Now for the full video and for the full story, please log on to straitstimes.com.
Yeah, so just now we were just checking quite quickly on the comments. We do see Malaysians tuning in as well. Hello Malaysia, selamat malam. Nice to see all of you. Definitely tell all your other friends and family members that we're online right now, right? And Straits Times Facebook page.
And we also saw Miles Casby. Hello Miles Casby.
Exactly, all the way from Australia. Yes. Now, Miss Nurul Izzah caused a stir when she remarked she was broken-hearted having to work with Tun Mahathir once again, adding that he was a former dictator who wreaked so much damage.
Now, in her defense, her dismissal of Dr. Mahathir as a dictator in the interview was a repetition of what she had said many years ago, actually, even before the 14th general election. So I quote her, she says, "I said it before the elections, I have said it during Besar 2.0's demonstrations. I don't understand why saying it at a different platform, but with the same message is problematic."
Yep. Now, her father, Mr. Anwar Ibrahim, also added that his daughter's criticism of the Mahathir Mohamad administration was aimed not just at the Prime Minister, but also at other leaders from the PH coalition. Yeah. And Mr. Anwar, the Prime Minister in waiting, reiterated that he, his family and PH support Dr. Mahathir's leadership and will give him the space needed to govern effectively. Now, he went on to say that we give space, as this does not mean we cannot have differences in opinions or other criticisms.
Now, in response to that, Dr. Mahathir expressed his disappointment with Ms. Nurul Izzah's comment. He said, "Never mind, many people are disappointed. I am also disappointed with them," he said. Dr. Mahathir's political secretary, Abu Bakar Yahya, also criticized Ms. Nurul Izzah as immature, irrational and emotional for making the comments. He said she should not have made negative comments on Dr. Mahathir, especially with Singaporean media.
Yeah, I mean, when the interview came out and the story came out, really Malaysia media picked it up, even Singapore media picked it up as well, and there was that back and forth, right? A lot of the politicians, then Malaysian politicians stepped in, to give and weigh in on their opinions about what Ms. Nurul Izzah has said, right? Amidst all these backlashes she has received, of course, Ms. Nurul Izzah is standing by her comments, saying the phrase former dictator was factually correct and stressed she would continue to speak her mind. Now, she went on to say then, "I did not mean any harm, certainly. I'll continue to speak in favor of what is right and what is important." Of course, things are still shaping up, things are still developing. Yeah,
just stay tuned.
Just stay tuned right on straitstimes.com. Yeah, and let's say hi to people.
Okay, we'll read some comments. Okay, so Boy Halim says, how poor the citizens in Singapore are. Okay, and then he says, talk about Singaporean first lah. We do lah usually.
Yeah, but
I mean if you've been watching Hangout.
Yeah, Malaysia is our closest neighbor, right? Yeah. And then, let's see. Hia Tian says, why get involved? No, we are not getting involved. It's just that, again, like we mentioned, they are our closest neighbor. We want to maintain good ties with them. Yeah.
Okay. So Yan, will you say that you're anal about your health?
That's quite sensitive to ask, but okay.
I thought that it's time. Okay. But I do think it's time we have this gut-to-gut talk.
Oh! Okay, so I have to say that I'm a self-confessed or self-professed hypochondriac. You know this, right? As long as I have a little sniffle in the office, straight away I'll ask you, hey, Alyssa, where is your Rupafin or your flu medication?
So I'm your drug dispenser.
Alright, you're my drug dispenser.
Okay, I'm saying that I don't anyhow give my medication to other people, okay?
Exactly, but okay, other than that, okay, talking about gut, I think I'm slightly lactose intolerant. Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah, but hey, I do share with you about my bowel movements, right? Whenever
I actually don't really know why you do so.
If I need to go to the washroom, I will tell you, like, you know, Alyssa, time for me to go to the washroom.
But this is it, right? If I'm asking for a gut-to-gut talk, I better be prepared for whatever
Exactly,
you're going to say.
exactly.
Right? Okay.
And you know,
Bring it on.
I think it's the perfect time to talk now, knowing that, you know, March is also the colorectal cancer month.
Yes.
Even though we are nearing towards the end of March,
Better late than never, right?
better late than never. We don't want to be
Exactly.
constipated. See, I tried.
Not bad, not bad. Okay, but to help us with this, because we can't go on talking about this ourselves,
Yeah.
right? We have a doctor on board. He's our guest tonight, Dr. Z Ying Kiat. So he is the senior consultant in medical oncology at Parkway Cancer Centre, and he's on tonight to join us.
All right, Dr.
Give
Z.
a hand. Give a hand.
All right. Okay.
Good to be here tonight.
What do you think about our puns? Can
Yeah.
pass not?
Can pass not?
Of course, definitely.
we try.
But I'm not going to talk about any of your anal conditions, okay?
Okay. He's trying as well. Okay, so again, for those of you who have just recently joined us, we are coming to you live from the Straits Times newsroom. And certainly, if you have any questions at all with regard to colorectal cancer, you know, certainly Dr. Z can take your questions. But of course, if it's within or if it's out of his scope, then, you know,
Out of his
of course,
Nice.
out of his scope. Yeah, Dr. Z will not be able to answer that.
But first, we have a few questions for him. Okay, so
Yes.
we want to know, first of all, what is colorectal cancer?
Well, colorectal cancer, first of all, is cancer arising from our important part of our digestive system, which is the colon and the rectum. The colon, of course, is the organ that absorbs water from our stool.
Yeah.
The rectum stores the stool until it is passed out of our body.
So we have a figure, we have a graphic right here.
Yes.
Yeah. So you're talking about the colon, which is the long...
So the colon is
pink
the
one,
large
right?
intestine,
Yeah.
which starts at the bottom right-hand side of our abdomen, rises up and then across and then down until it meets up with something we call the sigmoid colon, which then joins up with the rectum.
Right.
So that
okay.
together forms our large intestine. Now this is a very important cancer because, as many of you or some of you might know, it is actually the most common cancer among Singaporean men,
Oh,
and
okay.
second
I actually
only
didn't know.
to breast
I didn't know.
cancer in women.
Right.
Oh, right. Okay.
So it's a lot more common than we
Yeah.
think,
And of
right?
course, you know, you talk about it being quite common and all that. What are signs and symptoms then, you know, that we need to look out for?
Yeah. So some conditions can lead to symptoms that are similar to those that colorectal cancer causes.
Yeah.
This includes those of abdominal discomforts,
Okay.
the passage of blood in the stool,
Yeah.
Okay.
or even the feeling of incomplete emptying of one's bowels,
Right.
abdominal pain,
Okay.
lack of appetite, loss of weight.
Okay.
But very importantly, nearly half of the patients who have been diagnosed with colorectal cancer experienced no symptoms. Do you know why?
Actually, I don't.
I
And
don't
also,
actually.
actually, even if you have...
How were they diagnosed if they had no symptoms?
So
Is this a trick question?
Yeah.
'Cause I'm very
no, actually,
stressed.
I need to answer correctly.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know.
Maybe
I
your
don't
viewers
know.
will understand.
Okay. I don't know. Why?
There is something in medicine called
Okay.
screening. Have you heard of this?
Okay, screening. Okay,
Yes.
so before that, you know, you talk about screening, right?
Yeah.
We have a comment right here that is asking, is it painful to do a colonoscopy? So I think that is part of screening, I suppose.
Your readers are very smart.
Yeah. So again, for those of you who have just recently joined us right here, we have Dr. Z in the house, who's going to be sharing with us on
very
colorectal cancer. And if you have any questions at all, please feel free to put in the comment section below. So we were talking about screening,
Yep.
right? And colonoscopy. Is it painful?
And what is it also?
First of all,
Yeah.
what is screening? Screening
Okay.
is actually a process of looking for a particular condition, like cancer,
Right.
when a person is feeling entirely well and without symptoms.
Right.
Okay.
So the idea here is that we want to pick up a condition like cancer as early as possible before it causes symptoms, because we
Okay.
know that an early stage cancer is actually far more treatable with higher chances of
Right.
successful cure than if we were to detect the cancer in its later stage.
Okay.
So what does colorectal cancer screening entail?
Yeah.
Colonoscopy is one of the main methods.
Right.
And how we do this is to insert
Okay.
a lighted instrument
Okay.
called a colonoscope with a camera at the end of it to look at the whole of the inside of the large intestine.
Okay. So
Okay.
this insertion is via.
It sounds very invasive.
Via
bottom.
the
And uncomfortable.
anus that you mentioned
Okay.
earlier
So
on.
bottom. Okay.
Is
from
there,
the bottom,
is
okay.
there another screening that's less invasive?
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Okay.
There are alternatives to colonoscopy as a form of
Okay.
colorectal cancer screening, one of which is in fact something we call the fecal occult blood test.
Right.
Okay.
And over
Okay.
here, what we do is to really look for blood that is hidden in the stool.
Right.
Not visible, that means.
Yeah, hidden,
Okay.
therefore not visible. But of course, you must understand that finding blood in the stool does not equate to cancer.
Right.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So it's really a cue to further investigation.
Yeah.
In which case, perhaps a colonoscopy would
Yeah.
be difficult to avoid.
Okay.
And having said that, some of the symptoms you've mentioned, even if some people do exhibit some signs, it also doesn't necessarily mean they have colorectal
Absolutely.
cancer, right?
So I emphasized at the start
Yeah.
that some of these symptoms I was describing can be
Yeah.
attributable to various other conditions,
conditions,
which may not be cancerous. So
Yeah.
just because you have some abdominal discomfort or the passage of blood in the stool
Yeah.
doesn't necessarily equate to you having cancer.
Mm.
But it is very important that if such symptoms exist,
Yeah.
to seek medical attention,
Yeah.
to at least get it checked out, find the cause of it,
Right.
whether it's cancerous or not.
Okay, so again, for those of you who have just tuned in to us, we are coming to you live from the Straits Times newsroom, and we have Dr. Z from Parkway Cancer Centre to be talking to us with regard to colorectal cancer. And we have a question, Dr. Z, right now from Sally Ong. She asks, what is the recommended frequency for endoscopy screening? 5 years? What is endoscopy? Is it part of
Well,
it as well?
I think what
Yeah.
Sally is referring to
Okay.
here is colonoscopy.
Colonoscopy,
Okay.
okay.
It happens to be a form of endoscopy, looking at the colon.
Right.
Okay.
And we do have some screening guidelines.
Yeah.
And these screening guidelines call for colonoscopy to be performed in an average risk individual
Okay.
from the age of 50 years and above.
Okay.
So that's when they should start going for
50 years and
screenings,
above.
when they are 50 and
Yes.
over?
So this is where the average risk is very important to define. An average risk individual does not have any family history or personal history of cancer.
Okay.
And such an individual should go for colorectal cancer screening from the age of 50, one of which, of course, is through colonoscopy.
Right.
Now, her question is also regarding the frequency of
Yeah.
the scope. It really depends on what we find on the colonoscopy screening tests. If the endoscopy or colonoscopy is clear, meaning that there are no abnormalities, including cancer or polyps,
Yeah.
then the next colonoscopy can actually be repeated from 5 to 10 years' time.
Right. Okay.
Now,
On-
sorry, what are polyps?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So polyps are actually benign
Okay.
So you can see
overgrowths,
that.
yes, benign overgrowths that develop along the lining of the colon. Polyps are very important because if they are present and undealt with over a period of years, usually 5 to 10 years, these polyps may develop into cancer.
Okay. Okay.
So once you see it, it's definitely you should take action to remove it.
Definitely.
Right, right. And you know, you talk about average risk, and then you mentioned all that, and people above 50 years old, average risk, they should go for checks. When you talk about risk, what are some of the risk factors then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the main risk factors for cancer developing can be broadly divided into things that we can do something about and
Yep.
things that we can't.
Yep.
The things that we can't do anything about would be age.
Okay.
As we all age,
You can't stop the passage of
the
time.
chance of developing cancer
I am still
increases.
21.
Now, it is quite well known that the incidence of cancer actually increases from the time we turn 40,
Right.
but the highest incidence so far still is from the age of 50 and above,
And
which
above,
is the reason why the colorectal cancer screening age for
Yep.
the average individual starts from the age of 50.
Okay.
So, in as far as the other question is
Yeah.
concerned about risk factors,
Yeah.
there's gender as well.
Okay.
You can't do anything about that. Men, unfortunately, are a little bit more likely to develop
Likely,
colorectal
okay.
cancer than women.
Women. All right.
Okay.
Now, what are things that we can do? It is very well known that about a third of all cancers can actually be prevented through very simple changes in our diet
Okay.
and our lifestyle. And the same is true for colorectal cancer.
Yep.
Starting
So,
with
yeah,
diet.
What kind of diet then? Avoid what kind of food? Increase intake of what kind of food?
Yeah. What to avoid first? Avoid taking too much in the way of preserved foods.
Okay.
Avoid too much in the way of red meat.
Okay.
By the way, pork is actually red meat. Did you know that?
Oh.
I
thought
knew
it's
that.
not pink.
I knew that.
Okay,
Yeah.
I thought it was.
So people traditionally think of beef as red.
Red, yeah. When you say red meat,
So
the
limit
first thing
the-
was beef, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So fatty, oily foods as well
Okay.
should be avoided, or at least reduced in intake.
Yep.
What should we increase our intake of? Fruits and
Vegetables.
vegetables.
Okay.
Because the fiber is thought to actually reduce the risk of colorectal cancer
Okay.
developing.
Is there a reason why, like, is it because fiber helps you to move the roughage out of your body or something like that? Or?
It's not entirely known, but
Okay.
there are actually what we call epidemiological studies showing that people who take more in the form of fruits
Yep.
and vegetables and hence fiber
Yep.
actually have a lower risk of developing colorectal cancer.
Right.
How it works, not entirely certain.
Right.
Okay, so we're not too sure. I think, but we have to overhaul our diet for sure.
For sure.
And there's another one.
yeah.
So because we talked about this earlier, right? And
Yeah.
we also learned that alcohol also
Yeah.
increases the risk, correct?
So people think of alcohol as damaging the liver,
Yep.
but alcohol has also been linked to an increased risk of developing colorectal cancer. Smoking.
Right.
Any ideas?
Yes.
Yes.
I would just say smoking is bad for the body, so it
Yeah.
will just affect everything.
Yeah. I've always told my patients that there's nothing good that can come out of smoking.
Right.
And apart from harming your lungs, increasing the risk of developing lung cancer, it's also a risk factor for the development of colorectal cancer.
Okay. Again, for those of you who are watching us live and you've just tuned in, we are coming to you live from the Straits Times newsroom. We have Dr. Z here from Parkway Cancer Centre. And if you have any questions at all, do leave your questions in the comment section below. We do have questions here. We have Min Chan who asked, are females more at risk? You said males, right? Males are generally more at risk. Arun Kumar says, hi doctor, can polyps be removed while doing colonoscopy?
Absolutely. So in fact, it's a very good point to highlight again, because the removal of polyps is actually a form of cancer prevention. So it ties in with what we were talking about as well, risk factors and also prevention.
Yeah.
So colorectal cancer screening with colonoscopy is more than just screening. It's actually also a form of cancer prevention on the basis that if we find the polyp and we remove that polyp, we therefore prevent it from ever turning into cancer.
And you can do it in one shot, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we have Nanishida. I think people are asking, right? Is it painful or not? I think
uncomfortable.
the screening process. I think we didn't really touch on that. So we talked about what the screening process is like, but is it painful?
And whether there are other alternatives which are more comfortable.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
I think generally a colonoscopy procedure can be associated with some discomfort, but generally I wouldn't classify it as being painful.
Right.
If necessary, the procedure can also be done under sedation,
Okay.
where a patient is given medicines to become a little bit drowsy to lessen the discomfort that may arise from the procedure itself.
Right.
Now, in terms of people who are concerned about a colonoscopy, looking for less uncomfortable methods of screening, then the fecal occult blood test that I mentioned is an alternative.
So there are just two types of
There
screening?
are others actually. So there is another form of colorectal cancer screening which involves imaging.
Okay.
In particular, a CT colonography can be performed. Basically, it's a CT scan that generates three-dimensional images of the inside of the intestine,
Okay.
whereby we can even detect polyps and potentially cancers. But of course, you can imagine that if we were to detect those on a scan, then the next step would be
Colonoscopy. Anyway.
Anyway, okay.
So we know which one you should just do first now.
well,
Go
they are
for
all
colonoscopy lah.
options, but I think the individual has to decide on which is more suitable for himself or herself.
Right.
In discussion with the doctor.
Louis Lim asked, colonoscopy if done and clear, when to do it again? So you were saying 5 to 10 years, right? So that's it, 5 to 10 years. Lim Chuan Huat says, is cancer inheritance or can
Inherited.
it be inherited? Yeah, is it
Inheritable,
genetics?
right?
Yeah.
So the answer is that a small proportion of cancers are actually inherited. By that I mean that a faulty gene can be passed on from one generation to the next.
Yeah.
However, this constitutes only about 3% of all the patients with colorectal cancer that we see.
Yeah.
Okay.
By far, the majority of colorectal cancers are not inherited. So they are not going to be passed on from mother to child in that sense.
But in any case, would you recommend if a patient, not a patient, if someone has family history of someone having the cancer,
Yeah.
they should, to be safe, go for the screening?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So we talked about the average risk individual,
Yep.
but then the higher risk individual would be one who has a significant family history. And in situations like this, colorectal cancer screening should take place earlier than the age of 50.
So how, at what age, 40 or
Well, it
even
really
earlier?
depends. Yeah, it really depends on the situation
Okay.
in terms of how young the relative was, for
Yeah.
example, when he
Yeah.
or she was diagnosed with cancer.
Yeah.
Now, I think it's perhaps useful to point out that in recent years, we have come to notice that colorectal cancer is starting to occur more and more in the younger patients,
Okay.
in younger individuals.
Okay.
So much so that recently in America, the American College of Cancer Society has actually suggested that colorectal cancer screening be brought forth from the age of 50 to 45
To 45.
in recognition of this finding.
Of this finding lah. Okay.
Because for a moment there, I thought when you said younger, I thought like 30 onwards.
Well, it is possible, but it remains uncommon.
Uncommon. Okay. You know, Dr. Z, then moving on, if let's say you do go for screening and you discover that, hey, you know, you do have colorectal cancer, what are the treatment options available then?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
So-
then in terms of, you know, success rates, how are they like usually for colorectal cancer?
So how cancer is treated really depends on many factors.
Yep.
Number one, the stage of the cancer. That refers to how far the cancer may or may not have spread throughout the body. Number two, the location, whether it's in the colon, whether it's in the rectum. That makes a difference to how we treat patients as well.
Yep.
Number three, the patient's own physical fitness, whether they have other medical conditions like diabetes, heart disease, may also influence the decision-making process. And of course, sometimes we take into account patients' preferences as well. But broadly speaking, the main methods of treating colorectal cancer include those of surgery, chemotherapy, targeted therapy, immunotherapy, and radiation therapy. Now, oftentimes doctors actually combine different treatments for different patients, depending on their situation, to hopefully achieve the best outcomes from treatment.
Okay. And we have some questions here again.
Actually,
we
there's
have-
one I want to know. This is from, sorry, I don't know if I pronounced it correctly. Hi,
Johannes. I think we're looking at the same
Yes,
question, yeah.
right, okay.
Yeah.
So is it true if diagnosed with cancer, then one should stop consuming sugar?
A very commonly asked question.
Myth.
So I tell
myth
my
and
patients
truth.
this, that there has never been any study to show that taking more sugar would make the cancer grow more quickly.
Okay.
Neither has it been shown that taking no sugar would make the cancer grow more slowly. So the bottom line is that we should be somewhere in the middle.
Right.
Okay? So I think sugar in moderation, unless one is diabetic, for example, is actually still acceptable. Okay?
Right.
There's no need to go all out of our way to not take sugar even when diagnosed with cancer.
Right.
And I also want to ask, does being overweight put you at higher risk of getting colorectal cancer?
Absolutely. So obesity is a well-recognized risk factor
Okay.
for colorectal cancer as well.
And maybe is that tied to because of their diet or
So I think it probably is to some extent tied into diet.
Yep.
But even when we take diet out of it, patients who are obese actually have an independent risk of developing colorectal cancer that is higher even with normal and healthy diet.
Okay.
Okay. Again, you know, for those of you who have just recently joined us right here, we are coming to you live from the Straits Times newsroom. We have Dr. Z right here in the house from Parkway Cancer Centre, and he has been taking questions. And thank you so much, you know, for all the questions that you guys posted. You would be happy to know, Dr. Z, that you do have fans as well. We have Gavin Lau who says, "Wow, doctor so young, so handsome."
Oh, you need to guess how old I am.
Right.
This one got correct answer one, no?
Yeah. And then Boy Halim also says, "Nice doctor."
Well, thank
All right.
you.
Thank you so much again, Dr. Z, for spending time with us. And if you have any other questions, any more information that you want to know with regard to colorectal cancer, or anything at all that you want to ask, you can actually head on to
their website, so
the website.
partwaycancercentre.com.
Yeah, so partwaycancercentre.com. Once again, thank you so much,
Thank
Dr.
you.
Z.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
thank you.
And yeah, have a good evening.
You too.
Yeah. Bye-bye. Thank you.
He certainly mediated our gut-to-gut talk very
Yes,
well.
he certainly did. He certainly did. So, are you going to tell me when you are going to the washroom?
So weird.
Now, in the near
Not ready for
future, you could be heading to the Central Business District not for work only, but for fun.
Yay! Actually, we already do that because we don't work in the CBD. So y'all must be thinking, don't work in CBD yourself.
Yeah, exactly,
Go there for fun.
exactly. Now, yesterday, the Urban Redevelopment Authority unveiled its Draft Master Plan 2019 exhibition. Now, and part of it is to rejuvenate the CBD into a more mixed-use zone.
So this could include, whether it's for hotels, residential users, or even like those hip boutiques and cafes that we're all about, Singaporeans, right?
Yeah. Now the CBD areas the URA is looking to rejuvenate are Anson Road, Cecil Street, Shenton Way, Robinson Road, and Tanjong Pagar areas.
Now this master plan is supposed to guide Singapore's development in the next 10 to 15 years, and it's reviewed every 5 years just to make sure that we are going in the direction we want to go. And the most recent one that was just revealed has plans for more housing, cycling paths, and also greenery.
We can expect more residential housing plans in these areas, the downtown Marina South and Rochor areas, as well as Bayshore, Dakota Crescent and Farrer Park. Now the site occupied by the Keppel Club will also be redeveloped for housing.
As for greenery, there will be 2 major green lines. So there will be a new one. This is a 50-kilometer Greater Rustic Coast. This will run along the northern coast as well as the district level underground plans. And then there is also the 24 kilometers green vein. So this is the rail corridor that will run through Singapore and will be connected by 2021. This one isn't new, right? I mean, we've heard this in the news for a couple of years already.
Exactly. And this is the one that you like, right? Orchard Road is also slated for a refresh. Now it will become a large green urban corridor connecting the Singapore Botanic Gardens to Fort Canning Park, which makes sense because they're all nearby.
Yes, and I'm glad to hear it because not only do I like to go Orchard Road a lot, and I think it's time for a refresh anyway. But one thing I'm worried about is, how we already have a lot of trees along Orchard Road, right?
Yes.
And there are a lot of other guests as well nesting in those trees, those birds, and their hazard is like everyone becomes target practice.
Exactly, they also need to have a guard top. Right?
Yes,
they're
pooping everywhere.
Pooping practice. But hey, I mean, I guess that is something that they need to look into, right?
Yeah, I suppose, right.
Extension of cycling path as well. Now, 5 HDB towns will get more than 40 kilometers of cycling path. Woodlands, Toa Payoh, Choa Chu Kang, Geylang, and Queenstown will get them over the next 5 years.
And all this, of course, is an effort on the government's part to make the roads more car light. Because I was wondering, like, do we really need to connect everything by cycling path? And you said,
we
keep
do.
the cars off the road.
Yeah, keep the cars off the road. Exactly. Now, parts of the cycling path will be new, while others are based on existing infrastructure. Currently, the cycling path across the island is about 120 kilometers. It is slated to increase to 700 kilometers by 2030, so that all 26 housing board towns will be connected, which means that next time I can cycle to your place, all the way to the west.
You have to know that he lives in the east, I stay in the west. So you have to be a really dedicated friend to be willing to cycle for a couple of hours to come visit me.
4 or 5 hours. No? So if let's say we're supposed to
really,
meet for breakfast at 8 a.m.
Yeah.
I have to leave my house at about 3-4 a.m.
But will it really take you 4 to 5 hours?
I have no idea. I mean, it depends. It depends
hey,
on
but
how
I
good.
mean, you are in the top 10 for CrossFit Opens.
Whoa! Totally didn't see that coming. Okay.
Yeah, you're more than able to finish it in an hour, right?
If you would like to take a closer look at the plans, you can check out the DMP 19 exhibition at the URA Centre at Atrium. It will be displayed until May 24th. And of course, on to our next segment, other news in a minute.
Right, so for Onyam, we crunched down other headlines of the week in under a minute.
Singapore, Japan and South Korea have the world's most powerful passport. The 3 countries have visa-free or visa-on-arrival access to 189 destinations. The Singapore passport ranking had a bit of a rollercoaster ride the past year, where it dropped to 2nd place last May, went to 1st in July, then dropped again in October and January. Now let's see how long it can remain at the top.
And now, would you like an apple or 3? According to sources, tech company Apple could be opening 2 more stores in Singapore. One at Jewel Changi Airport and the other at Marina Bay Sands. All parties declined to comment. Anyway, Apple opened its first store here in Knightsbridge Mall in 2017.
Good news to Singapore. For the 7th time in a row, and of course this is not surprising, Singapore's Changi Airport has been named the world's best airport.
Yay!
It was also named the best in Asia and the best in the world for leisure amenities. The airport has won the best airport title for a total of 10 times so far in the World Airport Awards 20-year history. Tokyo International Airport, Haneda, and South Korea's Incheon International Airport came in 2nd and 3rd respectively. That is all we have for Onyam this week.
And now we have Facebook Face-Off. So this one, Yan, we tied last week.
Yes, we did.
We did.
Of course,
I'm not very happy that I think we should have a definite and clear winner. Okay, life isn't about being on the same. No, like kidding. kidding. I'm just kidding.
And with that, we have our special person who is present this evening with us. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please put your hands together to welcome Josh Joe!
And Josh Joe has a new look. Wow!
Hey, I have never seen this wig before.
No, I think Josh Joe just straightened that curly. Remember, because it was purple but it was curly, right? I think Josh Joe just kind of had
whoa. Okay.
relaxed treatment.
So, this is how it works, okay? So, Alyssa and I, we trawl through our Straits Times Facebook page for the wittiest and dunnest comments that you guys post on our Facebook page. And then we pick them, and then we read it out, and then we see which one is the funnier one. If you think that Alyssa's joke is funnier, you type in A.
If you think Hairianto's joke is funnier, you type in H. But if you think Josh's joke is funnier, type in J.
Exactly. But whatever it is, just type H tonight. Okay, Alyssa, you go.
Alright, okay. Okay, so this one is a story, right? Women in Singapore earning 13% less than men as Ginger?
Ginger? I think that's the joke.
Sorry. As gender wage gap persists, okay?
Okay.
So there are a lot of men kind of commenting like, yeah, but what's the big deal? Because we're going to have to do NS and they're being very salty for some reason.
Yeah.
And then Annie Lim says, wow, comment section here makes me want to buy many eggs. Ooh, yeah.
Okay.
Actually, I know you find it funny. You just don't laugh. You don't want to give you the satisfaction.
Okay, this is about Shakira denies plagiarism allegation in Spain court. She says there is nothing similar about it. Not the harmony, not the theme, said Shakira. So basically, she doesn't want to, she denies plagiarism. And then, oh no, okay, this is Chinese character. Sorry, I cannot read. Who is that? Can you read it for me?
I think it's a guy, so called, just say Aboya.
Okay, Aboy says, they should let her hips do the talking since her hips don't lie.
Not bad.
If you think that Alyssa is funnier, you type in A.
If you thought Hairianto's joke was funnier, type in H.
But if you think that Judge Joe is the funniest, you type in J. Okay. I will go now. This is about the story about the condominium unit have been paid for the wife and her father. Husband should not get any part of 2 million marital flat, judge rules. And then Yao Seng Chua says this, and really guys, I think we can all take comfort in this. Not take comfort, but rather, relate to this. Husband money is wife's money. Wife's money is wife's money. Right?
But it's a fact. Why is that funny?
See?
Okay.
Guys, we have to band together. Type H.
Okay, my. Okay, so this one was Edmund Zong, or Egmont Zong, the one who said that he wanted to egg Shanmugam, our minister, right? And Joe Basara says, well, Shanmugam is agitated.
I don't know whether to laugh or not. I'm scared. I'm scared later got food. I'm scared.
You scared you laugh to this guy?
Yeah. So again, if you think that Alyssa is funnier, you type in A.
If you think Hairianto is funnier, type in H.
Okay, round 3. Alyssa, go. This is the last round.
Okay, so this is the last one. All or nothing, right?
Yeah, all or nothing.
So 4 caterers and 1 restaurant in last year's food poisoning spate, remember so many people got food poison, right? Have their NEA hygiene grades cut to a C. And then Colin Yeo says, should cut to D rating instead for diarrhea.
That's a good one. Okay, this is mine.
I don't know his reaction, I don't know whether funny or not.
This is about, so basically in Indonesia, apparently there are statues of bare-breasted mermaids. And they are now been said to get covered up in Indonesia, right? And it says it was a top-down decision from park management. Kelvin Tan says, I suspect a cover-up.
Good one.
That's a good one, right?
I think a prize should also go.
Okay.
I used to wear braces last time. Yeah,
Ginger, what else? A prize? Okay. What do you want to say? No, go on.
No, it's okay.
A prize should go to our social media guy, right? For a top-down decision. So we're gonna let you guys, vote again. If you think that Alyssa is funny, you type in A.
If you think Hairianto is funny, I type in H.
If you think that Judge Joe is the best, then you type in J. Okay, let you guys vote. We will read some comments right here. Dewi says, Yan, your laughter is infectious. I know. But though a lot of my friends did say that, you know, you got to control your laughter a little bit, right?
Well, I think you're winning, you know.
Am I?
Yeah, H for your laughter.
Kevin Lau says, of course, best airport, the 24/7 aircon damn show. I agree. Azhar says, okay, A, ginger for the win. Then, hi, Johannes says, break the glass ceilings.
Awesome.
Okay. Chu Seng En says, saying hi from Yangon. Hello.
Hello.
What do they speak at Yangon? Burmese, is that a language? Burmese is a language, yeah? Okay. Be authentic. Wow. Chu Seng En also say, you have wonderful personality. Thank you so much. You have wonderful personality.
How do you know she's saying to you?
Oh, I'm just assuming. My mom voted for me. Thanks, Mom. I told my mom, I said, Mom, you tune in but you don't ever vote for me. And then she said, okay, I'll vote for you.
Auntie, then why you never vote for me?
Oh, we also have somebody from Algeria that says, watching from Algeria, Jamil Kasasni. And then we have Jai Johannes that says, thank you, Doc. Again, earlier on, we actually had a doctor on board to talk about colorectal cancer.
Guys, Judge Joe is feeling very left out. Quiet.
Okay, we're gonna do the countdown. Are we ready for countdown?
Okay, ready. I think I won't win now.
4, 3, 2, 1, and the winner is...
We were... Oh! Yes! Congratulations! Indeed, your followers have risen to the challenge. They rose to the occasion.
Gentlemen, we have rose to the occasion. We have risen from the ashes like a phoenix. Okay?
But you know, once you got, you have to come down.
Not wait till I get 6 weeks of winning.
Okay. We'll see.
Alright, we hope you guys have enjoyed today's hangout. For more news and videos, do log on to straitstimes.com.
We're also on social media, Instagram, Twitter and YouTube. And we also have our own email account right now, so you can drop us a mail.
Yeah. Do we have that? Oh no, we don't.
Not yet. But it's hangout with st@sph.com.sg.
Yeah, so you can say hi to us. Drop us an email. There's hangout with st@sph.com.sg. Alright, so next week, same time, same date, it's not same date lah. Next week, same day, same time, same platform, 8 PM Thursday at Straits Times Facebook page. Yeah? So once again, she's Alyssa.
And he's Hairianto.
And this is Judge Joe. Goodbye and see you next week.